Okay, guys, 2 days, two more political videos in a row. I want to talk about just some of the over politicalization we see in entertainment. There's a video by the Omni Viewer. I'll put the link in the description where he explains it best. His way of looking at it, and I agree, is that there are three ways to insert politics into entertainment. This is what I think, which is harmless and inoffensive. All it does is portray a point of view. And at the very worst, it's like, oh, that was clever. I see what you did there. I want to know what you think, which is where it gives both sides of the spectrum something to think about. And this is what I want you to think, which is permeating entertainment today. I was watching a video about the up and coming possible dumpster fire Captain Marvel, and it's brave activist Brie Larson. And I apologize if I offend you with this video. I mean, no offense. This is just my opinion. She's made comments in the past about how there's too many white men reviewing movies. She even had a interview with a person who was in a wheelchair, and she even told this person, I specifically requested you because you're in a wheelchair. Now, just speaking for myself, if I was that person, I would be deeply offended by that, because I am interviewing the star of a major motion picture. I earn this, and then to hear, oh, it's just because you're in a wheelchair. That's marginalizing that person, Brie. That's saying that person's credibility, accomplishments, none of that matters. All that matters is that they're in the wheelchair. And she's even made comments about how she didn't want her press tour to be overwhelmingly white. I'm just gonna say it. How would it sound if she said she didn't want it to be overwhelmingly any other group? It sounds just as bad no matter how you slice it. And she said that Marvel approached her about wanting it to be a feminist movie because that worked so well with Ghostbusters remake. This movie here is an amazing superhero movie. It's a fun ride. It's not feminist in nature. And there was no politics behind it. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot just wanted to make a fun superhero movie that just so happened to be about the first female superhero. And the way they talk about the Captain Marvel movie, how it's a major milestone and stuff, this here wasn't even the first female superhero. We had Supergirl in the 80s. There was the awful Elektra movie, even the awful Halle Berry Catwoman. Granted, those were bad movies, but they were female superhero movies that came even before this, and I'm getting off topic, but this is just a rant. And even in the press interviews and stuff, Gal Gadot did not bring up politics. The most political she got was when there was an interview with the promotion for the Justice League where her and Ezra Miller playing the Flash were interviewing each other. If I can find the video, I'll link it in the description too. But anyway, he asks her a political question. He's like, can you agree that heteropatriarchy is over? And she like pauses and says something like, excuse me? And she's doing that thing women do, where when a guy says something so out there, she's just giving him a second to realize what he said and change topic. And he keeps pushing, and she's like, well, I can agree sexism and misogyny had its day, and he's just real big celebrating, and you could tell she's just really uncomfortable with this line of questioning, but she wants to be polite. She's like, I don't want to hurt the little twerp's feelings. And I like that. That's how you do this. And also the fact that Brie Larson called this movie her form of Activism. Bravo, Brie. You're so brave. Yeah, when I think true activists, I think people like Dr. Martin Luther King who went to jail for what they believed in. Not, I'm making a movie and getting paid millions. I'm sorry, it just don't fly with me. It's okay to have these political messages in movies. Just do it in the right context. Because, again, as far as the feminist thing goes, another thing I like about this movie, Wonder Woman regarded everyone as equals. They did not have to make the men look weak and helpless to make Wonder Woman look strong. She treated the men in her company like equals. And when she is approached with some prejudice, like in the Parliament building scene, she just reacts with the way she acts. It affects her, but she also acts like responding to that to a degree is beneath her. And that's a great way. That's a good political message there, that just don't let the prejudice bother you. Just act like it's beneath you. And that was done in a good way. In other media's doing it, like Star Trek Discovery. Same thing. It's the "this is what I want you to think" narrative. Now, I am going to bring up an episode of Deep Space Nine that has the "this is what I want you to think" narrative, but it's the rare kind that does it in the right way, because it tackles racism head on, and it wants you to think racism is bad, which it is so, but it still does it in a way where it doesn't make any one group look vilified. The premise of the episode, Cisco gets a vision where he's in the 50s, I think, and he's a black science fiction writer, and it deals with prejudice. And it's a very powerful, emotional episode. He draws a picture of a ship, a space station, calls it Deep Space Nine, and ends up writing about the show and has to fight with the fact that, oh, they're not going to publish this. It's from a black writer, and it's about a black captain. He even has to deal with the fact that when he writes something really good, it gets published under one of his co-workers' names. And the thing is, his co-workers, even the white ones, are supportive of his story, but the higher-ups don't want it. And it ends with Avery Brooks delivering this powerful monologue that will shake you to the core. And again, it did not bash any group in particular. Nowadays, it's like they gotta make it, these films, about the message. The message, not the movie. The movie comes last, the message comes first. This is a political statement, and it alienated audiences. Marvel, keep pushing movies like this, and your audiences are going to start falling out. Again, it's okay to put some kind of political message in. Just please put it in one of two ways. The clever, "this is what I think" way, that's just, I'm stating my opinion calmly and rashly, and I'm done. Or the "this is what I want," or the "I want to know what you think," where no matter which side of the issue you fall on, it gives you something to think about. It's getting hard anymore to follow different forms of different movies, TV series, and whatnot, because it's got to be political. It's got to be political. We need to politicize this. We need to get our political message across. And audiences are turning away in droves. It's one thing, again, I'm not going to say which side of the fence I fall on, but I don't want to see even a movie or TV series or whatever, from my point of view, pointing the finger, saying, "this is what I want you to think." I want to escape a little. Again, I don't mind the political themes as long as it's done in the right way. And it's getting ridiculous. Even the up and coming James Cameron's Terminator, which is another video I want to talk about directors ruining their own legacy, where it's gonna be set at the Mexican border, it's gonna in power, and it's gonna be a pretty much all female cast, even though John Connor's gonna be in it, and you can tell by stuff that Cameron's brought full on into these identity politics, and I'm just cringing at the thought of that movie. Now, back to Captain Marvel, as far as Brie Larson wanting less white men to review her movie, don't worry, Brie. I don't plan on seeing your movie. In fact, what I will be doing is watching this and reviewing this movie on the day that movie comes out. And don't get me wrong, I have no illusion she's going to watch this. And I'm going to talk about what made this movie so good and how they left politics out of it. So, this is my last political one for a while, unless something comes up. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you don't agree with me, but you stayed with me to the end, thank you. You're awesome, because that means you're willing to listen. Over and out.